Hey Bessies, I want to talk about my last video, the one where I went through the comment section of Nuni Torres' video and exposed the work of a lot of the creators who were supporting Beatles and saying that it's all just user error and it's all our fault and blah blah blah. I made that video out of anger and I was ready for the backlash, but surprisingly I didn't get any. And that made me feel worse because I realized how amazing my community is that I have here, and that's not the type of content creator that I want to be. I never want to tear anyone down. That has never been my mission. I never wanted to be condescending. I think it was just a shock because I know a lot of people do social media for the money or the PR or whatever, and I have a full-time career that I absolutely love. That's not why I'm here. So when you are well-intentioned and you come on social media, you have this false mentality that if you just do a good job and you present the truth and you present yourself well, then no one's gonna hate on you, right? How could they? You're just trying to help. But I had to come to the realization that that's very far from the reality, and that no matter what you do, or even if you try to do everything right, people are still going to judge you. And it's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. We've been doing this since the dawn of humanity. Remember when they used to burn people at the stake because you said something scientific? When people don't understand something, or you are challenging a perceived notion that they have, especially when it comes to having to make any sort of financial change, they're going to be upset and they're going to look for every way to blame you, to ignore the science. It's honestly just really concerning, I think, for society in general, the whole anti-science mentality, because the second that science stops being convenient, nobody wants to hear about it anymore. And so I really just have to sit with that and acknowledge that that is why I've been getting the backlash that I've been getting. And it's not that I've done anything wrong. It's the fact that people are upset at me because I have challenged something that they thought for years was safe. And I have to accept the fact that no matter how much evidence I bring, my toxic trait was really thinking that I could just come on here and that nobody would be mean. And that was very far from the reality. And it was hard for me to cope with that. But I think I've sat with that and I finally have. My last video was just kind of a gotcha. Like, it was at the end of the day, we're all human. And no matter how emotionally regulated you think you are, when you have thousands of people dogpiling you for just trying to spread the truth and put out evidence and just try to warn people and try to help people who have your same condition continue to do their nails and continue their passion, it really just messes with you. And I don't think I was prepared for that reality, but I am now. I had to step back and realize that most people's first instinct when they feel attacked, because you are trying to disprove some sort of preconceived notion, is to lash out. So obviously, when I'm being attacked and dogpiled and told what I just know are complete lies and that are very evident, but people just don't bother to take the time to actually go on the page and watch the videos for themselves before just coming out with some assumption. And it's really tiring continuously correcting people like, hey, no, here's the evidence. And they're like, no, but it's still fine though. And so obviously that's really frustrating, but I think it comes down to my emotional regulation, how I'm going to be handling that from now on. And although it felt good to have that gotcha moment where it's like all these people who are just saying that is a skill issue, all I wanted to prove was that they too flood, they too mess up, and that they've just been lucky. But immediately after posting that, I thought it would feel better than it did. And honestly, it just kind of made me feel worse because that's just not the kind of person that I want to be. The last thing I want to do is be like the people who are constantly critiquing me, because I know what it's like to have your work put under a microscope and critiqued and looked at. At the end of the day, I am confident in myself. I am confident in my skills. I know that even though I'm not perfect, because nobody is, I do have pretty decent work. And no, I'm not always flooding or doing crappy nails. And so for a moment there, I let people make me forget that. And that's not a mistake I'm going to make again. Even though, admittedly, it felt good for a moment to have my community support me and just be like, yeah, you tell them, yeah, all their work sucks too. It didn't align with my values and who I am as a person, so it made me uncomfortable. And ultimately, That's what all of this internet drama and back and forth comes down to. It's people are uncomfortable and they lash out. But at the end of the day, we have to accept that we can't control others' actions. We can only control our own. So I'm going to continue to move forward knowing that I have put nothing but the truth out there with the evidence and the proof. And if people don't want to listen to that, that's their problem. It is not up to me to change everyone's mind. I kind of have to back down with my hero complex a little bit because it is not up to me to save everybody who does nails from getting this allergy. If they want to get it, totally up to them. And so I think I've finally come to that realization, and I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's not the type of creator I want to be, and it's not the type of behavior that I want members of my community to exhibit. I can't be a hypocrite and, complain about all these mean girls and bullies and then turn around and do the same thing, even if I'm just defending myself. So I apologize for that video, sincerely. It's out of character, it's out of anger, and I won't be doing something like that again. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to be responding to hate comments and all that, because I have had some success with that where people will comment out of just anger and frustration. I respond to them. We have a conversation. My DMs are always open. I say this all the time. Anybody who wants to DM me, they can. I do respond. You can ask anybody who's ever messaged me. And then we have a conversation like humans, and we realize that, hey, we are actually pretty similar. And then it gets solved. They see where I'm coming from. I see where they're coming from. And we all live happily ever after. There was a creator on here I went back and forth with for a while. We ended up having a conversation about it, and now we are very supportive of each other's work. And this person is also now advocating for nail safety. So there are wins. I've never been of the mindset of, oh, just totally ignore the haters, don't engage with these people. Some people are too far gone. But I do believe, because I've seen it work, that when you positively engage with people and explain where you're coming from, if they're not a total POS, 9 out of 10 times they will end up coming to an understanding with you. So I will continue to just do that, but from a place of care and not a place of anger. And that's all I have to say about that. Back to my regularly scheduled nail content. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one.